firstly, what we need to understand is that we are made up of a variety of elements. Our core element is our identity. As humans, we give ourselves an identity. We say, this is who I am, this is what I am. And for most of our lives, we make manifest our identity through the subconscious decisions and choices, reactions, and responses we make. So if inside of your identity, you've given yourself a certain component of identity, so let's just test it quickly and get practical with it. Let's see, is there anybody here in the group that's your camera's on that's a runner? All right, so let me ask you a question. If you go away on a weekend or you go on a holiday, do you pack your running shoes?
Yes, I do.
Ah, yes, I do. Do you see how fast that response came, guys? Who is absolutely not a runner? So what's the difference between the two? Very simplistic. In Poncho's identity, he's a runner. So every decision, so even if he goes on holiday, whatever he does, it's almost as if part of that identity, it's hovering in the back of his head. Yeah. When he sees the running, he goes, yeah. Some of us, when we see a running, we go, oh. If he gets an opportunity without really going analytical and thinking about it, he grabs it. Even if he goes on holiday to a different place. Ooh, my mic's in the wrong place. He will pack his running shoes. Why? It's part of his identity. It's part of what makes who he is. So it doesn't matter where and how he lives, he will always make manifest his identity. That's the core essence of who we are as human beings. Some of us have got parent in identity. Some of us have friend. Some of us have entrepreneur. Some of us have lover. Some of us have rich. Some of us have poor and struggling. Some of us have likable, lovable, social animal, party animal. Some of us single, alone, unlovable. Whatever goes into your identity and you put it there, you will make manifest to it for the rest of your life. But my identity is shaped by two main components. Your identity is shaped mostly by your values and your beliefs. Values are things in life that you value: integrity, honesty, sharing a meal, giving to the poor, uplifting others. All these things that are relevant and important to you are your values, because a lot of people carry values with them that are not actually their own. It's values that comes from your parents, comes from your culture, comes from your religion, comes from your society, comes from the exposure you've had in your life. We grew up with a value: the only proper job in the world is you need to be a surgeon. Anything below that is substandard. Even becoming a GP, not good enough. I was extremely successful at the age of 24. I had a massive house, I had a successful business, all of that, but I wasn't a doctor. My value system told me, Dion, you're not successful. Yes, because I carried someone else's value with me. So values are a critical component of what makes our identity. And the second part is my beliefs, what I believe. Now, usually the moment we start talking about beliefs, most people go religious beliefs. They think it's religious beliefs. But we're going to unpack it a little bit, but I want to give you guys a taste. Your beliefs are much more than that. What do you believe about yourself? What do you believe about your age? What do you believe about your capability? What do you believe about the environment you live in? What do you believe about your past, your present? What do you believe about your future? What do you believe about your family and your bloodline? What do you believe about the country you live in? What do you believe about the economy of the country you live in? What do you believe about the other people that you surround yourself with? What do you believe about the company you work for? What do you believe about your skills, your capabilities, your talents, and your gifts? All of these things make up your belief system. So your values and your beliefs merge, and they shape your identity. And for the rest of your life, whatever's inside of your identity, you will, on a subconscious level, make it manifest. You can hit the jackpot and get us, and just a lucky streak and get a business that works. But if your identity says, I'm not successful, you'll crash it. If your identity says, I am successful, I am wealthy, I am capable, and you have a business and something happens and you go bankrupt, within 2 years, you'll be back at the top again. You'll be successful and happy and rich and whatever the case may be again, because that's a part of your identity. We make manifest our identity. Your identity is made up by two things, your values and your beliefs. So if I shift my values, I am shifting something in my identity. If I shift my beliefs, I'm shifting something in my identity. Now, as a coach, I cannot alter my client's identity. The only person that alters an identity is my client. I have got no capability of altering their identity. Neither do I have an ability to alter their beliefs. Beliefs are always changed from the inside, never from the outside. The moment you take on someone's belief system, whatever they believe in, you take it on directly, they will resist. They'll have their back up against the wall and they will resist. That's very often the reason why, if we want to give someone advice, we often deliver advice in a way where they've experienced with challenging their belief system. They've got a back up against the wall, they will defend it. In fact, that process will most probably make that belief stronger. If I understand how values work, values, I can assist my client to bring change in. So there's going to be specific techniques that we're going to teach you guys how to shift a person's values, how to find their own values, their authentic values, their real values, so that they can align life with what's truly their own values. If we live someone else's values, we're literally living someone else's dream. We're literally living someone else's life. You're not living your own authentic life. And as long as you're trying to uphold someone else's values in your life and they're in conflict with yours, you will have stress, anxiety, and depression. Because you will not be able to experience true joy and true bliss. As long as you're chasing other people's values, you need to know what are your values. You need to know this value I've been carrying for most of my life was actually my mommy's, and I need to let it go. I love you, mommy, but tata value. The value is not mommy. Okay. I need to be able to separate these.
Visit actionfactory.co.za to find out more. Change your mind. Change your life.